Guys, if you're into the phrase fake it till you make it, you might want to see this movie produced by our girl, Omoni Oboli, starring Michael Dappa as Chidi, Sharon Chisom as Amaka, and Ihanu Sydney as Alex. These are the main characters. Let's talk about it. Storyline: we have Chidi, who built an alter ego, a personality he wanted people to recognize because he felt that if they knew his situation and they knew that he was struggling, probably poor, they're not gonna respect him. So he wanted to create this alter ego, this secondary personality that is eventually gonna be primary. However, for the meantime, he had to just feed this personality by living a plastic life, borrowing cars, if down to his suit, to just make statements and create an image in the lives of people, one they're gonna respect, right? So he did all of these just to act that, and eventually he was going to become that. Well, he arrived at an event where he had some of his classmates, ex-classmates, right? And they were donating, and he decided to donate the biggest figure, 20 million naira. And he had this, everyone applauded, and he met Alex. Alex was his friend, sorta, and he introduced himself to Alex as one who owns an international shipping company into international logistics and whatever. Alex, on the other hand, was pretty impressed because Alex had actually created a business, a good business for himself. He had all of this business acumen, whatever. So he was impressed by not only Chidi's persona, appearance, or whatever. He was also impressed by what came out of his mouth. So he said, you know what, let's meet. So you could meet my business partners. Probably get a deal, cut a deal, whatever. So Chidi was excited. And in between his alter ego and the life he projected were embarrassing situations that happened intermittently, because of course if you're borrowing cars or whatever, you're gonna be embarrassed some way, somehow. On the other hand, we had Amaka, who was very histrionic, melodramatic, overly theatrical, lived a plastic life, all in the name of a social media influencer. Would do all of these shenanigans, all of these whole just plastic life, organized, orchestrated lifestyle, just to feed the Instagram and make people see her as someone who was into luxury. Well, she couldn't even pronounce luxury. At least if you're into the lifestyle, you should be able to pronounce it. Not about, well, gist continues. Amaka will go to, this movie that made me realize that some ladies actually go to, there's a private jet that does not move, it's just started, they go there to take photos. Is that true? I don't know about the hotels, but the private jet one, and the way she curated this plastic lifestyle, she made it seem surreal. Well, the lifestyle paid off a little bit. She got a call, and in the call they invited her to a ball. The ball was for the elite as well as those into social media. So she got excited. She went to the ball. The ball was a mask kind of ball where you cover your face and Chidi also came to the ball because the ball was organized by Alex and his other business colleagues. So Chidi was at the ball, Amaka was at the ball, and they met. So fake met fake, plastic met plastic. And Chidi kind of roused her a little bit. You know, Chidi has the words, he has the aura, he has the vibe, he has the persona, he has the body. And he wanted to display affluence. So they were trying to unction and bead and whatever. And just to impress her, there was a nice necklace. So he wanted to get it for her. And it was about 55 million. My guy took up his placard or whatever it is. Someone that doesn't have money, that literally borrowed everything. He took it up like this. And she was quite impressed. The moment he did that, she knew, oh, in her mind, she has a catch, a big fish. She's gonna be rich. She's finally gonna get the life she desires. The whole thingy has paid off. And his mind is like, okay, I have just hit mine. So both of them were actually hopeful, giving themselves false hopes, right? He was sweating when the man was like, going, we have 55 million going, and someone took his placard out and said 57. So it was a sigh of relief. Well, he took her out. They chatted, chit. Now, Amaka had two friends, Tani and Zara. They were well off. They were from well-off homes. Amaka was the only struggling one, but she painted herself as someone who was also doing good. They eventually understood that she was living a fake life, but decided to also accept her because she was their friend. They knew she was struggling, and the story behind it was quite touching because she said her parents only feed when she sends money, and she has to send money every now and then back home. So she has to keep up with a lifestyle that is going to bring in the money. But they constantly kept telling her that, oh, living a fake life is not going to help you. It's going to get you in trouble, whatever. Now, he took her, started taking her to fancy restaurants, started using money to impress her. Of course, since you got her by trying to impress her with money, you're going to have to keep her doing the same goddamn thing. That was the modus operandi. Well, you know how it is. They kept going. Amaka's friends were also persuading her to tell him the truth because it seemed she had started falling for this guy. So tell him the truth, right? It's not gonna hurt. But she was scared of losing him. On the other hand, he didn't want to tell her the truth. He just wanted to dive in because he felt, oh, she was a way out of whatever way he was trying to escape. Now, to cut the long story short, Amaka was always used Zara's house as her house because, of course, she's from a rich home, whatever. So he took her to a spot, a shawarma spot, and he said it's not. This is not a regular fancy spot because there's a story behind it. His parents, before they died, he gave her this sad, melancholic, morose, gloomy, pensive, whatever you call it, story. Oh, she bought it. Well, they left. Then all of a sudden, he takes her somewhere, and next thing, my guy proposed. After 3 months of relationship, he proposed. She accepted. Well, she thought she had the jackpot, so she accepted the proposal, and he He kept on, pestering her to go home, tell her parents. She said she was going to take her flight. Well, she entered the bus, went home, told her parents, who were illiterates, very obsolete, but she tried to shaping them to fit the lifestyle she is curating or she's faking, right? But they couldn't keep up because, of course, if you're not there, you're not there. Well, he met them, and I don't know if he felt something was quite iffy. I don't know, but well, they went to a wedding planner, and the planner was just bringing up all of these expenses, these that. The girl was picking it. I want this one, want this one, want this one. He couldn't even swallow the wine, because the guy was sweating because he saw his downfall right before him. How was he gonna keep up with the lifestyle? He was able to convince her for some reason, weird reason, to do a simple wedding with him. Like, not that it's not gonna be expensive, but it's gonna be very private. She agreed. They did a private wedding, and while she was filming, we are going to, I'm just married, and we are going to whatever resort for my honeymoon. A man pulled up with 2 policemen. Apparently, he is indebted to the man. He was in debt. Duh, if you live the lifestyle, of course, you're gonna be borrowing here and there. He was in debt. So he was, yes. And they took him. Eventually she went to his house. She realized she had just been lied to. So she couldn't believe her eyes. She was shocked. She was taken aback. But he explained to her and said, every other thing was a lie, but the love he has for her is real. He also told her, okay, her dad could borrow them some because he's trying to, register his shipping company. Her dad could borrow him some money, and she laughed and said she also lied to him. So lie, met. Lie. And he begged her. He said, let them start all over. Yes, they lied to each other, so they're both equally guilty. So let them start all over and build the lifestyle they desire. She kind of acquiesced to it, and the next morning she picked her stuff and left. While he was asleep, she left. He woke up, found a note she wrote, and she said, well, she's gonna find herself, because she wants to find herself outside of the lies and everything. He should do the same also, and the money they got from the wedding is in the box. He should use it to pay his debt. And she went to her friend Zara's house. Zara was there for her, tried to make sure she feels better. Eventually he came over to see her, and Zara wouldn't let him in. Zara said he should leave because Zara didn't like what he did to her friend. He left, and that's how the movie ended. Now, let's talk about what I think about the movie. Beautiful movie. I like the movie because, again, it's a good storyline, relatable, something that happens in our everyday lives. We see it. But one thing that I don't really appreciate about the movie. Now, Michael, let me start with what I don't appreciate. Amaka, I wish Amaka gave us more attitude, more luxurious persona. I wish because I wanted her to switch from being Amaka, the regular Amaka, to being a bad bee, you know what I'm saying? Bad bee attitude and all. Her accent, intonation, how she pronounced root. You know, this Paris, classy, French, Paris. I don't know how to say. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, people who are embedded in luxury. You know, Emily from, what's the movie now? The Devil Wears Prada. Oh my God, she would have given me that. She would have given me that. Okay, and I would have just loved it, like, instantly. So it didn't really give. It was giving, trying so hard. But I wanted someone who understands how to fluidly dive into that persona, into the character, just like Michael Dappa did. Michael Dappa as Chidi. Chidi was flawless. I loved how he carried himself. I loved the way he spoke. The aura around him spoke really well. I loved it. Then when he had to switch back to Chidi, it was an easy switch. So it was beautiful to watch. I wish Amaka gave me that. Not that she didn't, I'm not saying she didn't try at all, she didn't put in the work. I'm just saying she didn't carry that personality well, that character. That's the only thing. And of course the movie was quite simple, short, which I love, because if you're not gonna do epic, or if you're not epic now, if you're not gonna do A-list, please keep it short. Don't be wasting my time with a 2 hour 30 minutes movie when we could just do 1 hour 30 minutes, be done, and move the hell on. Yeah, so I love the movie. Now the thing with it is, you want to be careful when you live a fake life, because it might just catch up to you. Like, literally, in trying to escape, in trying to that's what the household people say. In trying to gain weight, she lost it. You know what I mean? Like, she tried so hard, and that goes to tell you that a lot of people do these things. They just live the fakest life out there. They take you to houses that are not theirs. They put up a show, just a facade. It's just a blatant lie, plastic. And sometimes they don't meet their kind. I wish they always met their kind, just like the movie portrayed. Fake meets fake, and both of you together deceive yourselves until you find out the truth. Then you know that you've been deceiving yourselves, and that's your karma. Your karma started when you started, okay? But I pity those who fall for it. They fall for it, they love you, they appreciate you, they adore you. And in the long run, they've come to find out that you've been telling a lie, right? So, yeah. So tell me what you think in the comments. I love this movie, and I think there's gonna be a sequel. Do I want a sequel? Of course. Let's see what happens, or what happened, or what's gonna happen to these two, Amaka and her husband, because that's her husband, whether she likes it or not. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.